Here with Greg Jennings. We're going viral, Greg. LeBron James put on a show last night, finishing with 33 points, 7 boards, 12 assists in a big Lakers win over the Atlanta Hawks. No one had a better seat than Lakers legend Kobe Bryant. The King posted their courtside interaction with the caption, "I'm just trying to continue the legacy you left behind in the purple and gold, at the same time make you proud."
Kobe doesn't make a lot of appearances at Staples for basketball games. I think the last one was the 5th or 6th game of the season last year. This year he got some children's book coming out.
Why do you think, Nick?
Listen, Kobe's moved on from basketball. Aside from coaching his daughter, who was there with him, the young lady next to him, I think her name is Gigi. She's an excellent player. He's trying to do films. He won an Oscar. I think he's trying to move on to the next phase of his life, so to speak. And his shadow looms so large that I think it would be tough, when the Lakers were really bad in particular, for him to be showing up a lot.
Yeah, and I think he's taking a completely different approach from guys like Michael Jordan, who is always trying to ridicule or look down on the present stars in this league. Kobe is embracing these young guys and saying, look, this is our future. They have a lot to offer.
I'm just laughing because Kobe always finds a way to insert himself in the GOAT talk with LeBron and Michael Jordan. So I don't know about that.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think Kobe's happy for him to a degree.
Yeah.
I think he wants the Lakers to be really good. I think he wants LeBron to be really good.
With Kobe.
I think that's where
if the MVP is coming down to the final week of the year and LeBron's in the running, I bet Kobe's vote, if he had one, would be cast for anybody else. And if the Lakers are in the conference finals against the Clippers, I think Kobe, if he were in attendance, you'd see him quietly fist pumping when the Clippers score. I'm just saying. I can't prove that to be true, but I believe that to be true.
All right,
I feel like you were kind of rooting against the Packers once you like, they won with me. I don't know if I want to win.
I'm with you there. I'm with you. Just a little bit.
Talking some Dak Prescott and the Cowboys. They were in Detroit to face the Lions yesterday. Dak was outstanding, threw for 444 yards, 3 TDs. Get this, he now leads the NFL in passing yards on the season. After the game, Troy Aikman was singing Dak's praises. Short and sweet, tweeted, "I say, pay the man." All right, Nick, is it starting to look like Dak is worth a mega deal, if not the biggest deal they're going to dole out to a quarterback?
Oh, this is torturous. This is so difficult because I try to be honest to what the information tells me, and I try to be someone that is not so stubborn that just because I have an opinion on one thing, more information can't change my mind. And the numbers say Dak Prescott in a contract year is playing sensationally, better than even our friend Skip, who's on an hour, even his truth serum Skip. I don't think he could have seen Dak Prescott 320 yards per game on average.
Sure.
Going into this season, Dak only had 5 games in his career with 300 yards passing. And now he's averaging 321. The only player in the league averaging more yards per game is Patrick Mahomes. And the only quarterback in the league averaging more yards per attempt, which, Greg, you and I have talked about, is a very important stat as far as how, okay, your completion percentage is one thing, but how difficult are those passes? The only player higher yards per attempt than Dak is Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is going to get 200 million, so is Dak worth 160? All those numbers say yes. And still, my brain says, nah, man, don't do it. My brain says don't do it. But you got no choice now. You can't franchise tag him when the season's over, not after the year he's had. They didn't get a deal done before. I'm skeptical of Dak's ability to play at this level consistently. And that's the key. I think I might have, in my roundabout way, actually finally found the point. If you pay him the money he's going to be paid, this level of production has to become standard. Not 440 yards, but around 300 yards passing per game, top 5 in the league in all major passing categories. You have to believe that is who he is moving forward. That is who. That's not just a hot streak, Greg. That is who Dak Prescott is. I don't yet believe that. And that's why I'd be squeamish about paying him, but they're going to pay him, and they put themselves in a position where they have no alternative but to pay him.
Yeah, they're definitely going to pay him. They need to pay him. And I am a believer of Dak Prescott. I've jumped full board on the bandwagon. I haven't been completely off. I've always been kind of holding on to the cart.
All right.
So I knew it was in him. I didn't know this was in him. And the reason why I say that is because when you look at guys like Jared Goff, Carson Wentz, guys who have been paid, even Kirk Cousins in Minnesota, guys who have been paid. When I put Dak Prescott right next to those guys, I would take him over them, period. There is no question, there is no doubt in my mind.
Would you have taken him over them before the season started, before what you saw this season? Guys like Stafford and Goff and Kirk Cousins, would you take him before everything you saw this year?
No, because I hadn't seen him with a full year worth of Amari Cooper, a Randall Cobb, a Michael Gallup, and this supporting cast around him. He's never had this type of personnel around him. And so what the complaint was before with myself was, well, the supporting cast is supporting Dak Prescott. Well, now Dak Prescott is elevating the level of play of not only the guys around him, but that team. He has become the reason why we're even talking about the Dallas Cowboys this year.
The reason why he has such a good supporting cast is because Dak Prescott is still on a rookie deal, right?
You can pay all the guys around him.
You got 43 quarterbacks in the NFL that have a higher cap hit than Dak Prescott this season. But, I mean...
How many?
43.
43 guys.
43. So that allows a tremendous amount of flexibility in terms of the other guys that you can pay on your roster market value. They just paid a running back $90 million and reset that position's marketplace. But in terms of what this Dallas Cowboys team is and whether or not Dak Prescott is going to get his money, he's absolutely going to get his money because Jerry Jones doesn't have any other choice. What are going to be the available options this offseason? Are you going to draft a quarterback in the first round? You're not going to do that when you realize that you're in the middle of your championship window. You built this team to be able to compete for a championship, so you have to try to allow yourself an opportunity to see that through, and that includes paying Dak Prescott. Now, Dak Prescott bet on himself, and with each passing game, leverage continues to go in his direction. Since the bye week, Dak has 9 touchdowns to 2 interceptions. You got a second consecutive week where they got a wide receiver that went for over $140. I mean, 2 weeks ago was, Amari Cooper, and then last week, yesterday, it was Michael Gallup. So, I mean, the fact is Dak Prescott has taken his game to another level, and the question coming into this year was whether or not he could take advantage of one-on-one coverage outside of the numbers down the field. He has emphatically answered that question, yes. Opposing defenses knew coming into this year that Ezekiel Elliott can beat them on his own. So they're taking Zeke away, and they're forcing Dak Prescott to be able to answer, and Dak Prescott has put this team in position to be able to win the NFC East.
But once you pay a quarterback like this, the success of your team for any given season becomes not just directly correlated, almost exclusively dependent on how well your quarterback plays. 4 highest paid quarterbacks in football, Wentz, Rodgers, Goff, and Russell Wilson. 2 of those teams are having great seasons. Those 2 quarterbacks, Rodgers and Russell Wilson, playing like MVPs or close to it in Rodgers' case. 2 of those teams having brutal seasons by what their expectations were. Wentz and Goff. Goff has had a terrible season. Carson Wentz had the worst season since his rookie year. You can't survive a down year from your quarterback if you pay him like this. And the question for the Cowboys is, do they think Dak's going to have many more down years? I'm squeamish about it, but they've boxed themselves in here. He's about to make that $30 million a year seem incredibly cheap. It's going to be north of 35, which is bananas, but that's where it's going to be.
All right, we got to take a break. Greg, stick around. Is Lamar the MVP so far this season? Next on First Things First.